Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can tell by that glorious blue logo, we're doing a Sonic game. Actually, we're doing the first Sonic game.
Also, that loud Sega that
loud
everyone remembers from the 16-bit era.
Is like 1/6 the game's cartridge.
Yep.
I don't doubt that either.
Well, sampled audio is actually quite big in comparison to like the way other audio is stored.
Oh,
Most
I don't doubt that.
Hi, Green Hill 1, and almost done already.
Yeah, that's how this game is gonna go.
Beautiful, beautiful 27-second level.
The world record, I think, like 25 or 24 seconds.
Yeah.
I could say I'm only like 3 seconds off, but then it's like those 3 seconds are the hardest to get. So yeah.
Well, that's always how it is.
Yep.
Also, high special stage.
Yeah, I will say, like, one nice thing about Sonic 4, and that's like one of the very few nice things I can say about it, I actually liked how it handled the Sonic 1 special stages. I don't know if you've ever played them, but
I've not played Sonic 4.
I have.
Well, the way the special stages in that game work is you rotate the special stage yourself, and Sonic just kind of falls, instead of you controlling Sonic and it rotates. And I actually preferred
really
that.
Nice.
What the hell?
Well, welcome to the Green Hill Zone Act 2 zip. Also, if this zip is insanely difficult to pull off and took me like about 50 retries.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you die.
Oh, I don't doubt that. You probably just fall through the ground.
Yeah, you suffer crush damage for some reason.
That's even more bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
That's because the screen is dynamically resizing itself in that section.
Huh.
So the death plane is constantly changing.
Well, yeah, that's why I would have thought of, like a bottomless pit type death rather than crushing. But then again, I suppose in this game there's really isn't a whole lot of difference.
No, there really isn't.
Not really. We're already, I think, like, what, 2-3 minutes in the video already at the first boss, and he goes down like that. In case you haven't noticed, this game is not very hard.
No, it really isn't. And now we get the boring part of the game.
Yeah, and I still
the part of the game that most people don't get past because they fall asleep during it.
I don't mind Marble Zone. It's not like it is the worst level in the game, but that's just kind of some level has to be the worst.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst level in the Genesis era.
That's one of my favorite tracks on that.
What did you say, Hukos?
Sky Chase.
Oh.
I would play this over Sky Chase.
Yeah, no, I don't like Sky Chase, but I think I'd play it over this.
I think I'd be this over Sky Chase.
Sky Chase should have been a shoot 'em up level. Just saying.
Why am I not surprised that that clip exists, and also you're just saying fuck it to the level?
I mean, this.
But then again, I guess that's why you have patience for it, because you do that.
Honestly, I find speedrunning this game a lot of fun. I'm not a professional speedrunner. I should note that, just in case. So no one gets the idea. I just personally blasting into the game is a lot of fun for me.
Well, this game is fairly bite-sized, despite 3 acts per zone.
If you're positioned right on one of those sliding platforms, you can actually end up getting forced inside and suffer a death.
Yeah. Well, you can actually clip through the whole level that way. I know how to do that. I didn't do it because I just could not get it to work and have that be recorded, so...
Yeah, well, you got the Green Hill Act 2 zip going, so that's probably enough for one playthrough, not right there.
Yeah, the zip glitches in this game, they don't look that hard, but if you actually try to do them, they will be a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah. I
That
imagine
sounds
if you're
about right.
like, even if you're even.
What?
Speaking
I
of-
wonder what I could be doing. Oh,
First of all, I didn't know you could knock that monitor down like that.
Neither did I.
I saw it this year, and one just copied the trick.
Yeah.
Damage boosting.
Yep.
I mean, we're 2x in, and both acts were done under a minute, so it's not like this level is that long.
Yeah, but you're kind of just ignoring the level in a lot of ways too. So I don't know if it's a fair representation of what the level was intending to be.
I suppose. Also, I'm having a way too easy of a time with those counter killers.
Yes, you are.
Because their hitboxes are a pain for a lot of people. Because you have to hit them basically on the very front of their head and nowhere else.
I've not really had problems with character killers either.
I usually
And
just-
another zip.
I usually just roll into them. Like that's
Yeah,
way
the thing
less
rolling.
of a pain in the ass.
The thing with rolling your character killers, if you go too fast, you hit the back of their head, which is part of the damage hitbox.
Oh yeah, that is true.
If you roll into them slowly, though, it works.
But I'm usually going pretty slow in this game compared to Sonic 2 or 3, so
I find
I never really noticed it, I guess.
I feel like the first part of Sonic 2 is really fast, and the rest of the game is kind of Sonic 1-ish in terms of speed.
Oh yeah, the Sonic 2's level design forces you to slow down towards the latter half of the game. Definitely. Meanwhile,
I don't mind that. Like, I don't really judge Sonic games on how fast they are. It's more, I care more about flow than speed.
yeah,
Well,
that's really it. It's like, how often am I stopping? is the issue more
Well,
than
it's like-
how fast am I going?
If you want to talk about, like how long it takes to beat levels, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is painfully slow, but it also has a good kind of rhythm to it, I guess.
I mean, yeah, those levels are long, but, you know, it's still a game with a 10-minute time limit, which means they have to be, you know, shorter than levels in Heroes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I controversial opinion, I don't hate Sonic Heroes.
Neither do I. I actually really
I
like
don't
Sonic.
really hate Sonic
I
Heroes. I'm
actually
not the
really-
biggest fan of it either. I'll
I actually
admit.
really like Sonic Heroes, but yeah, I
It
understand what people are talking about when they say those levels are long, because they can be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing as Team Dark, where everything's HB sponges.
Oh, Christ.
Which is a weird thing to talk about in a Sonic game, but here we are.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when I go to play Heroes, I only play Team Sonic.
Same.
So that probably inflates my
Sometimes I'll play
opinion of the
Team
game.
Rose, but honestly, I will never play Team Chaotix. That's the one.
Oh god,
I will never
Chaotix is legitimately on. But it's just playing through levels as Team Sonic. I legitimately
Oh,
have
yeah.
fun with Heroes.
play. Yeah,
I'm-
Heroes is really well balanced for Team Sonic, not anyone else.
Yeah. And I will
Team
say another
Rose is
controversy.
kind of unfulfilling. Team Dark is just kind of meat shields everywhere.
And Team Chaos can go die in a fire.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Chaotix is awful. I will say this controversial opinion. I actually kind of prefer Heroes to Adventure 2. I can hear the death threats coming in right now.
I disagree with you, but I also understand where you're coming from.
I don't hate
I'm on
Adventure
the
2.
same boat.
I'm not in the camp that despises Adventure 2. It's like the kind
Oh
of...
no, Adventure 2 is a good game. It's just its biggest problem gameplay-wise is that it shifts gameplay aspects way too fucking much.
Honestly-
Sometimes it feels like it doesn't more than Adventure 1 did. Just,
Well, Adventure 1 is like, you can kind of stick... You can just play Sonic's quest and then just fuck off.
it's true.
That's definitely true, yeah.
And I've done that a decent amount, so it's not like no one plays the game that way. Well, I do.
You can also easily play through the entire game in one day if you have the free time.
Yep. Especially...
I've done Sonic, portion of Sonic Adventure in a day. Not the entire game.
I've
but-
done the entire game.
I've done
because
the entire game
when,
as well.
when I first played the game, it was the Dreamcast version, but I didn't have a virtual memory unit for it.
Oh god.
Oh god.
So I would be replaying every aspect of the game every time I turned it on.
My first time playing Adventure 1 was the GameCube version.
I'm sorry.
I mean, at least it's
Are
not
you
the
saying that
PS3
to me or
version.
him?
Him.
Okay.
It's not the PS3 version.
Oh yeah, that version's like, from what I've seen.
Every version of Adventure 1 is buggy as all hell.
Well,
It
it's not
just
that
feels
it
like it gets
worse.
progressively buggier.
Yes, it gets progressively worse the more the game gets ported.
And then there's the current Steam version, which is actually quite decent.
It
Well,
started
they
off
made-
kind of horrible, but then they patched it.
Yeah, they actually put effort
Like
into
2
patching
years
it.
after it came out.
Well, they came up with mods for it to make it more like the Dreamcast version, so it's good now. Like, they fixed the lighting and the weird textures that they chose.
Eh, I suppose there is that. I don't really care so much. I just wanted to, play properly. Which I guess is asking a lot of Adventure 1.
Also, as much as I'm not a fan of the fishing in Adventure 1, at least you can finish those levels stupidly quick.
If you know how fishing in most video games anyway works, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if you've never played a fishing video game or fished in real life, then you're probably just gonna sit there with a giant question mark on your face. Wondering what the hell you're doing or doing wrong or...
Oh yeah.
That was
it's
me
like
the first, 6 times I tried to do big story.
I actually got the hang of the fishing very quickly, weirdly enough, in that.
I'm fine with the fishing, and Big Quest takes like 20 minutes to beat, so it's like, eh.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite is actually probably Amy's.
It's kind of Amy's is kind of pointless.
Amy's is mostly inoffensive, I find.
Well, inoffensive, but kind of pointless.
Yeah. Like, they had an idea. It felt like they just ran out of budget on her in some ways.
My thing with Adventure 2 is, a lot of times, I forget that it exists. I find it kind of average. Like, I don't think it's a bad game for the Adventure 2 fans out there, but, it feels like Adventure 1 without Adventure 1's really high points.
I can understand that, yeah. I think
So
at least the Sonic and Shadow levels in Adventure 2 are generally, not always, but generally better designed than the Sonic levels in Adventure 1.
I have more fun with the Sonic levels in Adventure 1, personally.
But, every other character type, gameplay type, was done worse in Adventure 2, so...
Well, it's mostly the Knuckles Rouge stages with the worst...
Yeah, they made the treasure radar worse for some godforsaken reason. Made the levels about 3 times the size they were.
For some godforsaken reason.
Yeah. And then with the shooting stages, they made the characters control worse than E102 did.
It feels like they designed the shooting stages more around Eggman and Tails. Tails is an afterthought with that.
That's a given. I mean, clearly Tails being in the mech is really just to be a hero parallel to Eggman. That's not even a question at this point.
I mean, I'd rather they not do that, just have, more... if that was such... They absolutely had to have parallels between Hero and Dark. I'd rather they just exchange Tails for someone else, and then just have a whole bunch of Robotnik levels.
I mean, they could have introduced Omega a game early. That probably would have been better.
Yeah.
But, I can kind of see why people like Adventure 2, but it just doesn't excite me at all. I'm like, eh.
Adventure 2 excites me until I have to play a treasure hunting level, and then it's like, eh.
Yeah.
Especially if that treasure hunting level is Security Hall.
Security Hall and Bad Space.
I have a controversial opinion. I think Security Hall is one of the better treasure hunting levels. That's not saying a lot, but I think...
I only say Security Hall because of that frickin' 5-minute time limit.
Well, I say Security Hall is one of the better ones because the 5-minute time limit forces it to be a really constrained level, which is generally...
Well, yeah, the design of the level Actually, I have one other problem with the design of the level, and that's the fact that you can only have one floor's worth of saves open at one time. So you're constantly going back to those switches.
Yeah, I can
Like,
think it's one of the few levels that's really tight and constrained.
yes,
Really
yes. As far as its size go, it's just the right size for a treasure hunting level. At least a late game treasure hunting level. But
Yeah.
it just has those other quirks that bring it down.
I mean, I'd rather play Security Hall than Dead Space.
I totally understand that.
yeah.
I am of a mixed opinion about that.
Well, I think Net Space is like horrible. Like it's just
Oh yeah, it is horrible. It's just okay. Do I feel that it's more or less horrible than?
well.
And it's just like I cannot decide half the time.
I
hate them. I hate them both.
Security Hall, I can work around. Mad Space, it just annoys me with how big that fucking level is.
See, I would compare Mad Space to some levels in Sonic 06. That's how much I really don't like it.
And I totally understand that too.
And I'm not making the comparison Sonic Adventure 2 is no better than 06. I'm just talking specifically about Mad Space. Just so no one doesn't lose their lunch out there. Like, if I'm to rate the two, Adventure 2 is like a 5 and 06 is like a 3.
Okay, that one switch there to open up the wall eluded me for about 5 minutes when I first played this game.
I mean, that's not
So, I was just riding water slides for 5 minutes, like, is the level gonna start or anything?
It just looks infinitely.
Yes, it does.
Similar feature is done in Tidal Tempest and Sonic CD. I think it's Act 2.
I need to try Sonic CD again.
Play the re-release. Like, I love this.
Yeah, if
I've got
if
the
I
Steam
play it
version.
again, it's gonna be the Steam version. The Steam version is godly.
I am one of the people. Sonic CD is my second favorite game in the series, so I love CD to death. But like, hell, I still love the Sega CD version, but the Steam re-release is just better.
Oh yeah, like, you don't have to be a fan of the game to see that.
If I end up recording it, it probably will be the Sega CD version, just because I have weird issues with OBS on my computer. So, if I can get those fixed, I'd probably do it in the Steam version, because there are mods to fix the weird vocal song issue, where because of legal copyrights, they couldn't have the vocals.
I wasn't aware of that.
Sonic Boom and You Can Do Anything, the main songs in the US soundtracks, don't have vocals for weird legal issues.
I don't remember that being a thing, but it was also a very, very long time ago that I played the Steam version, so...
Yeah.
I can't say I'm that terribly surprised. Then again, the vocals for Sonic Boom were in Generations, weren't they?
I think so.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were. So, what the hell?
Because I'm just thinking back to when you did the video Generations with Green Hill Act 2 with Sonic Boom.
Yes, that was so goddamn long ago. And I look back and like, oh god, the game's running like crap on that computer. How did I ever play this?
Here's the boss that everyone hates, and I just completely annihilated.
Well, it's also the boss you don't really have to fight, if I recall correctly.
You don't have to
you're
fight it, no.
It's just, you're racing against the water.
Oh, so you just managed to clear that without grabbing a single ring.
Uh-huh. How much did that annoy you?
You're a crazy bastard.
Wait, you did that on purpose?
Yeah.
I thought that was just a coincidence.
No, I intentionally was ignoring ring boxes just to see your reaction.
I hadn't even noticed. Anyway, Starlight Zone. This is probably my favorite level in this game.
I think this is probably I think this is a pretty good level, but I think this is a more overrated level game, because it's like, or you know it, it's already over with and you're on the scrap rating.
Well, that describes most of the levels in this game.
Kinda, yeah.
Also, clipping through the thing.
Yeah. Walls only have collision on the outside.
Well, yeah, a lot of games are like that.
Wasn't how like most 3D games work, where you clip to the wall and you just sort of explore around everywhere?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of videos about that sort of thing in Metroid Prime. Because that's a common speedrun technique, is to get out of the boundaries to open doors that you shouldn't be able to open. It's not like you can just wander around the entire area, because you still have to load room by room, but...
Yeah. I've never actually done that, despite how much I love Metroid Prime.
God, the amount of speedrun trick videos for Metroid Prime on Metroid 2002 back in the day was absolutely crazy. Like, there were more for Metroid Prime than there were for Super Metroid, I think.
Damn.
Which is insane to think about.
I still need to grab Metroid Prime at some point. I've got a GameCube, but I want to get the physical copy.
Get the original, so you can get early double jump boots.
I don't know if that was in the European version.
No.
Yeah, because I think
they fixed it by the time the European version came out.
Yeah, so I'm stuck getting it legitimately.
Yeah. Wah, wah. Well, I think there's a trick that's not quite as early, but still early, using morph ball bombs. Rather than a scan dash. But I find that to be a bit of a pain in the ass, and at that point I was like, I might as well just wait until I get the boost ball anyway.
Yeah. That reminds me.
Having the space jump boots in that game is a huge quality of life thing.
Oh yeah, that's why I always go for it anytime I go through.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it's right there. It's not like you're really going out of your way. If you're able to get it early, then do it.
I usually have to practice the scan dash jump technique. It's a little tricky for me to pull off, but it's worth it just for that.
It has been a long time since I've played a version that you could do it in, so I don't really remember.
Don't you usually prefer the Wii version?
Yeah, usually when I go back to it, I play the Wii version. I'm thinking I might emulate the original NTSC release the next time I play it, just so I can play around with that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that I don't have my GameCube copy anymore.
What happened to it?
I traded it in after I got the Wii version, because I thought, well, first of all, this is a player's choice copy, so it's not going to have all those sequence breaky stuff in it anyway.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Because player's choice is second, third release.
Yeah. Third, I think.
Yeah, for games that sold over a certain amount.
Yeah.
Just like it's Nintendo Selects now?
Yes.
I see. That reminds me about Metroid. I think at some point we're gonna get to the Metroid games. That'll be fun, right? Metroid 1?
Oh,
Starting
no one cares about Metroid 1, just do Zero Mission. Like, actually, nobody cares. Like, it's a curiosity, but, like, it's...
Well, it's like at that point, might as well start at Super Metroid then.
I mean, I guess. It's not like you really need a whole lot of continuity in that series anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Super still, I think, either between Super or Prime are my favorites in the series.
From what I hear, Samus Returns is really good, but also quite brutally difficult.
It is pretty... I actually wanted to get to this while we were on a Metroid tangent, but it is actually really good, and I wouldn't say it's brutally difficult. Like, things hurt, but it also gives you a lot of health when you kill things, so it works both ways. And I think some of the later boss fights are really, really well designed. And what the hell? I had no idea you could do this. What?
That's it. Just the way physics work, like wall physics, I guess you would call it. If you get stuck in a wall, the game is designed to try and push you out.
Nice.
So,
yeah, that makes sense. That's how a lot of out-of-bounds glitches end up working. Is taking advantage of that.
So if you're in a wall and you hold left, you go right, and vice versa. So you just get clipped through the wall, and then you use that to push you, like, basically to the end of the level. That's how virtually every zip glitch in a classic Sonic game works.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that Sonic games are unique in that they don't have collision for things that are not on screen. So that's how, like, basically every Sonic 3 and Knuckles glitch works.
Going too fast for the game to register.
Yes, that actually makes sense, because not having all of that stuff loaded will save a lot of memory. And that's kind of necessary on any 16-bit console.
Yeah, the Genesis has a measly 64 kilobytes of RAM, that's like, yeah.
And is the Super Nintendo better at that?
The Super Nintendo has 128 kilobytes of RAM.
Okay. Twice as much, but ultimately still not that much better, actually.
Yep.
Well, it's like, the Super Nintendo has twice the RAM, but Genesis has twice the processor, so it kind of evens out.
Assuming, the developers know how to program well for the Genesis.
Well, what I've heard...
Seems like half the time they're just lazy about it.
What I've heard from the homebrew scene is that the Genesis is considered easier than the Super Nintendo, but that goes out the window if you start throwing in the add-ons.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah. CD and 32X.
The CD and the 32X, like, those are guaranteed to be nightmares just in how they exist.
Well,
Let's put it that way.
It basically requires multi-threading in order to do anything with it.
Like, multi-threading in that era is like, it just seems like really forward-thinking. Too forward-thinking, maybe.
The problem with Sega CD, it was just too early for the for a CD-based medium, because the multi-threading was an issue with the Sega CD, but it's also that because it's a CD-based system and not a cartridge-based system, it can't just directly stream into the CPU. It has to load it and work.
Also, nice skip of the level.
Yeah.
Nice skip of the weirdest level in the game. Feels most out of place.
I mean, it's basically Labyrinth Act 4.
More or less.
Which, ultimately nobody asked for.
Yeah.
Even if you're like me, you don't really mind Labyrinth. It's also not really a level you want to see again.
Honestly, I wanted to see Labyrinth and Mania just piss everyone off.
I think we got that out of Oil Ocean.
I mean, Oil Ocean was pretty solid in Mania, all things considered.
How did you not die there?
This game's collision detection is weird.
It really is.
But I was gonna say, then the Sega CD only has 128 kilobytes of work RAM, and that sounds like a lot compared to the Genesis 64 kilobytes of RAM, but that's like, but the Genesis can just stream everything from the cartridge, so it's almost like the Sega CD has less RAM than the Genesis. Which
That's
you can
twice
see why
you should have died. 3 times!
So, you can kind of see why the Sega CD devolved into shitty FMV games.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Speaking of shitty FMV games, Night Trap is getting a re-release, and apparently you can see all the monitors at once.
Huh. I've never played Night Trap.
God! I heard about that game not too long ago, even.
I've known about it, but...
One of the first games to get... I think it was actually one of the first games to get banned in Europe.
It might have been. I think I remember hearing about it from a Guru Larry video.
Yeah. It was, well, at least banned in the UK, because Doom 2 before that, I believe, was banned in Germany. Not Doom... Yeah, Doom 2 for gratuitous violence.
Oh, sure, banned Doom 2, but not Doom 1. Okay.
I'm not sure about how they responded to the Wolfenstein games.
I mean, they probably just removed all the blatantly Nazi imagery, which would be like, I guess, everything.
I was gonna say probably about 90% of the game.
Because actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, the extra levels in Doom 2 are Wolfenstein levels.
Oh shit!
So that might be why Doom 2 got banned.
More than likely.
I just thought of that.
I have a weird feeling about Sega. I don't really think of it as its own console. I just sort of mentally slap the few good Sega CD games from the Genesis library, like Snatcher, Lunar, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about both it and the 32X. Not that the 32X had more than one noteworthy game at all.
And the games for the 32X are...
good.
And the 32X games are fucking impossible to find.
I wonder why.
I think I've actually seen a copy of Knuckles Chaotix once.
I don't hate Chaotix. I think it has great music, great art, but the gameplay's kind of eh. I still kind of like
super goddamn awkward.
It kind of is. I kind of like the game, but yeah. We're approaching the end of the video, so this has been us, me, you, and Nim.
Whoever the hell we are.
This has been our Sonic 1 playthrough, and have a nice day, everyone.